Welcome back to Not Roommates, episode number 10. The host, I can't talk tonight because we're recording pretty late, but this is the home of roommate talk inspired by the guys who are not roommates. I'm your host, Matthew Hanish. Alongside me are my wonderful co-hosts, Dalton Bradley and Zachary Harper. Gentlemen, how are we doing this fine evening?
Tired, but I'm all amped on G Fuel. So
We're doing freaking great. For those of you watching the video podcast, you can see my pop figure of Mondo from The Mandalorian. He's holding Baby Yoda. Grogu.
Baby Yoda. Yeah, for those who don't know, I posted on our Instagram story, but if you're listening to the audio, we are now on YouTube, so you can watch our video reactions. Pretty funny stuff, if I do say so myself.
stream full Not Roommates videos on YouTube.
Like me, I'm doing random hand gestures for no reason. But it's lit. Crazy.
We are Not Roommates on YouTube, so you can find us there. But yeah, that's a little life update. We're recording this episode right now. It is the 30th of December, which is crazy. It's going to be released on New Year's Day. So it's like we're going to call it our first episode in 2021, even though we're recording our first episode of 2021.
It's the first episode of 2021, but the last episode of 2020, which
Happy New Year.
Crazy.
Woo.
Happy New Year. Yay. I mean, it's crazy. This was like our little quarantine project, and now we're at 10 episodes, which is not bad. And I was actually looking through some of the statistics, the analytics the other day, right? And on 9 episodes uploaded so far, we have 330 plays in total. So that means that somebody clicked on an episode and played it at least 330 times. So, I mean, it might have been me just clicking it over and over and over and over and over. But I'm just joking. That's a lie. But that's kind of cool. I mean, on 9 episodes, that's pretty good.
Shout out to all of you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Much love to all you guys.
Wouldn't have the drive to. Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy in my eyes. I mean, on 9 episodes.
9 episodes for sure. And I know we had talked about like we kind of wanted to do a little bit more, but school happened, life happened, just things you can't expect, So we appreciate you guys if you are looking forward to these episodes. We're gonna get on a more consistent posting schedule soon, especially now that Dalton and Zach are, and even me too. They're graduated, but I have a lot of free time now. We're going to be on a lot more consistent posting schedule. So hopefully we can get some more content out. And the content we've been putting out, I must say, guys, we're pretty funny. I think
I'm thrilled.
I'm enjoying the content, dude.
I like it.
I love it. I love it.
Dude,
but
I'll go back and listen to episodes, and I know damn well what's coming, right? Like, because I was a part of it. And I'm still laughing. And that's, I don't know, that's cool. I mean, for me, this was like kind of a goal like that I've had the last couple of years was to start a podcast, but I never really wanted to just do one on my own because I thought that would be boring. So, to have a podcast now with 2 of my really good friends, like this has been fucking fun. What do you guys think? Like what are your opinions on this?
I've had a great time with it. I think it's a lot of fun to just sit because we're really just hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could hang out in person, but this will do. Matt, what about you?
Oh, I agree. I mean, we talk here, we sit here and we talk for about an hour 20, whatever it is. And the funny thing about this is I think we've touched on it a lot, but Dalton and I met very, very briefly for maybe an hour tops in Houston. We didn't even know each other because I was with my group of friends and Zach was with Dalton and his group of friends in Houston. So, but it's weird how this whole thing has started. The start of quarantine happened and we just became friends over the internet. And now Dalton's like a boy for life. So, I'm grateful for both you guys, man. I appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
Yes, bro. And we've kind of had conversations outside of everything. And honestly, 2020, this has been just a cool project. Right. And we definitely want to elevate this in 2021. We want to be more consistent. We want to be more consistent about just putting content out there and having episodes every single week. And being that this episode is going out on January 1st, 2021, this is the beginning of posting every single Friday. We're going to be doing every single Friday. We're going to be working our asses off. We're going to be posting video highlights to our YouTube, to all of our different social media platforms. We've been doing that a little bit these past couple of weeks with some of the great highlights from these last couple of episodes, but we're going to be more on our shit, more on everything. And we're just going to keep having fun with it. I mean, I'm having a great time. I think it would be kind of fun for each of us to kind of like go, each and every one of us, just say like what our goals are for this. Like, what are your goals for the podcast in 2021?
Dalton, you go first. I've been talking a lot, so let's
I want us
hear
to get
let's hear the lovely
merch.
Dalton.
I want us to get merch.
Merch. Ooh, okay. I could see us
At
rocking
the
a
very
not
least,
roommate's dad hat.
some t-shirts and hats, very least.
Okay.
Okay.
In a
So,
year
Dalton,
from
now what about
today,
you?
we'll have t-shirts and hats. That's my goal.
So,
Yeah.
boys,
And
I've
if we're not
been-
going to sell it, at least us have them.
Oh yeah.
We can wrap them in the episodes. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Matt,
boys,
what were you saying?
I was just thinking in my free time, because I have a lot of it now because I'm not working. I've just kind of been going on Vistaprint, kind of experimenting with some things. But I know we have an outlet for somebody who can design us something like a logo. And I know he's probably listening to this podcast. He knows who he is. Jonathan
He's the
Tibbetts.
GOAT.
I've been thinking, I think I'm going to hit him up and see what he can come up with for us, because I really think if we get some merch, I know we're very small, but dude, even if it's just for us, like, I don't know.
I'm in.
But for me, my goal for 2021 for this podcast, and you guys know it, I shared in our group text, is I want us to grow this thing so much that when people do their 2021 Spotify Wrapped, Not Roommates is featured on their, I don't care if it's number 1, 2, it's on their top 5 most listened podcasts. And I think, we started this in August and we weren't on a consistent basis, but if we get to the point, guys, where we're, like we said, we're going to be posting every Friday and more people, we get more of a following and an audience. That's my goal. I want to grow this thing as much as we can and
I like it.
just see where it takes us, man. Cause this is fun. Like you said, we just get to sit here and shoot the shit for an hour, dude. I mean, you can't beat
Dude,
that.
yes.
Yeah,
Heck
I love
yeah.
that goal. I love that goal.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I love that too. And honestly, that kind of like ties into mine a little bit. Like I definitely want to be, I don't know if Apple does that at all with like the podcast or not, but Spotify definitely does. And we want to be in the Spotify Wrapped. We want to be a part of that of at least one person. Like if one person that's not named Dalton, Zach, or Matt can send us a screenshot at the end of this upcoming year that we're in your Spotify Wrapped for podcasts, like that would be a successful year in my eyes, right? But my goal more or less implies I just want to like have some followers and some listeners that are not people that we know, like people that really just discover us and are, strangers to us, right? And that they try and join in on our community. And I just want to, create a cool community where, we start getting people to comment on our Instagram posts and, we can respond to them and just like whatever it is. If we have a clip that's about sports, we can talk sports with them. If we have something that's something random, like what do you want for Christmas? And, we can start a whole dialogue around that and just kind of create a community. I want that kind of environment behind this because, this kind of is a podcast for bros by bros, but also for brodettes and, everybody. We're kind of for
Love
everybody,
that. I love
I've
that.
never heard anybody say brodettes. I kind of
Shout out to the lady roommates, not roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady roommates.
The lady roommates, man. I know there's a couple of them, but again, it's people I know, but still we appreciate the support, man. I mean,
Everyone.
we can talk and talk forever about this, but again, we just appreciate all you guys who listen. And so,
Yeah.
Well,
And it doesn't even matter like how many people there are. Like, I mean, if one person's listening to us, like that's cool. At least one person's listening. And I know that there's some people that are good friends of each of ours that are consistently listening. And that just shows who the real homies are, the people that are actually watching and listening to these. It's kind of, I'm keeping a mental note that like, if this thing pops off one day, I know who's listening to this right now and who is like an OG, and I know who you are. And if you're not a part of that, it sucks to suck, man. You weren't supporting it from the beginning, and you're not gonna get that kind of love. Like
Zach
I
said,
don't
I
have
got
any
the
respect
list
for
and I
that.
checked it twice.
I got the fucking list, bro. Call me fucking Zachy Claus.
Right? Yeah.
We're in the spirit of Christmas, man. We only 5 days after Christmas. Call me Zachy Claus. Yeah, dude.
Zachy
Speak-
Claus. I love that.
Speaking, y'all boys, well, Dalton already had it. Matthew got a very interesting Christmas gift that was a legendary gift in my eyes. And I'm holding a copy of it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
dude.
book by Mr. Matthew McConaughey called Green Lights. What are y'all's thoughts on this? I love this fucking book so far.
Matt, go
Dalton,
ahead.
what?
Where are
Oh, you
at
want
so
me
far?
to go?
Yeah, you go
Wow,
ahead.
I have the honor.
I've finished it, but so I want to hear what
Well,
y'all
okay. So first of all, I got a book by Matthew, and it was given to me, Matthew, which dope. But I heard about the book actually on a podcast. Part of my take from Barstool, which everybody knows. Part of my take, Big Cat,
Yeah.
PFT. They're so funny. But they had Matthew McConaughey on, and he was talking about his book and just some of the experiences. Like, man, I got to get this book and read it. So I got it for Christmas. It was one of my gifts, and dude, I just started. I opened that book on Christmas Day, and I read the first half of it on Christmas Day. It is Matthew McConaughey is the most interesting man in the world. I mean, my favorite story in that book so far is the one where he talks about the hot rod. Zach, you read up
And
to
the
that
truck.
point. I know you have.
The hot rod in the truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he.
Yes.
So I'm gonna spoil it.
The
I mean,
red,
if you
the
have
red sports car.
yeah. So Matthew McConaughey was according to him, he was a babe magnet. He was dating the hottest girl at his high school and the high school across town. And he after school, because he grew up in a rural town in Texas, he would take the truck mudding after school with the girls, and they just go have fun. But then he saw a red sports car. He traded it in, and he parked the sports car in the back lot, the red sports car, and he wasn't getting that attention that he used to because the girls still wanted to go mudding and the friends were all going mudding because that was the culture. You know, you live in a small Texas town.
Yeah.
And he went back and he retraded back in the sports car for his truck because that was in his life, that was a red light for him, which, you know, he talks about what a red light is, what a yellow light is, and what a green light is. And I don't want to get too in depth about that because you got to read the book. It's so good. But that, you know, that was kind of a red light for him, which no one would ever thought like, oh, I'm going to buy a red sports car and traded my beat up old truck for a red sports car. And it turned out to not be good for him. And then he ended up getting his truck back and ended up, you know, living his life. But I just thought his whole story, I'm at the part now where it's, he's talking about how he wanted to be a lawyer. But that ended up, you know, he found out he was such a good storyteller and he had just this imagination. And you can just tell when he sat, I mean, the dude literally went to the middle of the desert to write this book in a trailer. And he just secluded himself from society to write this book. And it shows. I mean, there's stories that he kept in his diaries, and I don't know, dude. I love the book, and I hate reading too. But Matthew McConaughey, he got me back into it. So that's my favorite story so far.
When y'all are reading it, right? Are y'all reading it with his voice in your head?
Oh, dude, yes.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one because like I'm reading it the whole time, and I'm
not even gonna lie, bro. Impression. I currently have the best situation for reading this book. I first bought the audiobook version. So I've been listening to it. I got to about page 100. And then I decided the other day I was going to go pick up a copy at Barnes & Noble because I wanted one. And I am following along in the book while listening to it with his voice. And I'm not even going to lie, bro. If you guys get a chance to buy the audiobook version, he tells the story so much better that way. You know, because when he talks about the Australian guy, when he talks about the German guy, he does their accents. The Australian guy, he does an Australian accent. The German guy, he does a German accent.
Oh, man,
he does a great job of it because, you know, he's from like a drama background with, you know, he can do the accents. He's good at, you know, acting on the fly and whatnot. And he's just very, very good at that. But, dude, I want to be fucking Matthew McConaughey when I grow up. I don't know if I ever want to be an actor, but like, the amount of things that he's involved in, bro. I mean, like the dude has a hard time telling people what he does. Obviously, the short answer would be, "Oh, I'm a Hollywood actor," right? But he's
Yeah.
a creative director for a whiskey brand. He's the minister of culture and a professor at UT Austin, and he does all this other stuff. Like, bro, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's a
Yep.
director.
Mhm.
And he's the spokesman for Lincoln.
He
Yes,
is.
he is. Yes. Dude, my favorite commercial ever. And sometimes if you're ever sad, swear to God, go on YouTube and look up Matthew McConaughey sitting in a coffee shop looking out the window at rain. It exists. You can watch that for hours and hours on end. And he just is sitting there in a coffee shop by himself. He'll take a sip and then he'll look out longingly at the rain in the middle of a Lincoln commercial. And it's, dude, best time commitment of your life.
Dalton, what do you think? What have you? Well, you finished it, but what do you think? What did you think about the book? And what was your favorite story?
Okay, so I think that this, I don't know if it's my favorite, right? The story that resonated most with me whenever he was a kid, talking about going and stealing wood from the lumber yard, and building the treehouse.
That part was sick.
Blew me away.
Mhm.
He was, I think, what was he, 11 or something like that? He was in
11,
like 6th
yeah.
or 7th grade. He and his
Yeah,
dad are living
yeah.
in a trailer in the middle of fucking nowhere in East Texas.
Longview, Texas, bro.
Yeah. And
Yep.
he like was walking around one summer day while his dad was at
Barefoot?
work, barefoot.
Barefoot.
And
That
he
was so
saw-
Matthew McConaughey.
Right. He was like, I saw a lumber yard and I thought, I want to build
Yeah.
a tree house.
I want
And
to
so
build
he's
a tree
like,
house.
well, I can't go do it right now. So he goes back to the trailer and he like pretends to fall asleep and shit until his dad
Left for work.
well,
fell asleep.
his dad fell asleep and he got
Yeah,
like
that's
and he
right.
snuck out the window.
together. Yeah, he jumped out the window, went to the lumber yard,
Yeah.
snipped the fucking fence open, stole a
Mhm.
shit ton of wood, dragged it like a mile and a half back to the tree he wanted to build the treehouse in, fixed the fence and covered it back up. And then like throughout the whole summer, he would go and steal wood at night. And then
Yep.
during the day when his dad was at work, he was building the treehouse. But the part that got me right is whenever he was finished with the treehouse, it took him the whole summer to build that fucking thing.
Yeah.
It was like 8 stories high.
11.
Was
11
it
stories,
11?
yeah.
I think it was 11.
Humongous. And he was talking
And then he
about, like,
left and like never went back.
Yeah. I
That
was
is-
like, wait, you left
Dude,
that
that
fucking
part
treehouse
blew
and
my
you don't even
mind.
know if it's still there? What
That's
the
so
fuck?
Matthew McConaughey, dude.
I know.
That thing
Dude,
has got to be
I
still
would
standing,
kill
and it's
to
going to have magical
restore
powers.
it.
I'm convinced.
100%.
Oh, it has to be.
100%.
Dude, I want him to go back.
Oh,
Oh, he's freezing up. Say that one more
froze
time.
up. Say it again.
I'm freezing up again.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Freaking internet, bro. I don't like the internet. No, I actually like the internet. It's a great place. But I was just saying, I think it would be cool if he wrote a story, did something, made a film about him going and adventuring to try and find the treehouse.
I think
So all
that
he's
would
got
be
to do
cool.
is find that lumber yard.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got to find the lumber yard. And he knows it's like right there, a couple hundred yards away.
He probably
Yeah.
shouldn't go too close to the lumberyard though if they read that book. They might
Probably
want
not.
some fucking
Oh
money.
yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Now that they know he's got it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. I thought that
I-
was just incredible though, man. Like,
Yeah.
and all the shit about his dad, and like, I don't know if y'all probably aren't quite to this point yet, but how his dad decided if you were a man or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is
Oh,
that, are you already past that? Oh man.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's like,
That's at the beginning, honestly.
is it that close? I don't remember. You
Yeah,
gotta-
well,
like, you
his-
just gotta
his-
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him or beat the shit out of somebody who was gonna beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. They had the bar fight, remember?
Oh.
Because that part, I could
Yes,
just picture
yes.
Matthew McConaughey kicking the bouncer's ass, dude. That
He
that
probably
part,
held
bro.
a twisted tea.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Jesus, bro. One of my favorite stories from it, and this kind of connects to what you guys are talking about the dad, is the part where his dad bet all his fucking money on his son being able to piss higher than the guy's
Yes,
height.
yes,
Yes.
And he
The-
pissed 2 feet higher.
Matthew McConaughey's younger brother, dude. That part was legendary. The dirt bike. He bet the dirt bike, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
Oh
was like it
man,
was a
dude.
shit ton of money, or like, and if I win, we get the dirt bike. Yeah, and they took that
And it was
bike.
his
Yeah.
Christmas present. It was the kid's Christmas
You
present
know,
because he wanted the dirt bike. Oh, dude, that story was legendary.
Oh man,
Oh man,
oh my God, dude.
it was
Oh,
what
it's
it
so
was.
funny.
How high was it? Do you remember
It
like
was like
the
it
eight
was
footage?
8 feet 2 inches
it's
or
like
something.
yeah.
It was 2 feet high. I think the guy was 6'4", and I think so. Then it would have been 8 foot 4 inches tall because it was 2 feet ahead above the guy's height, and I think he was either 6'2" or 6'4".
Yeah, he was a big dude, but he did piss over him. That was so funny, dude. And
Well,
the
He was
like
other
8,
how he went and
right? He was
got the
8.
kid.
something
Yeah,
like that.
if that. But it was like the dad was like, all y'all stay here. And he drove like an hour and a half back to go get the
112
kid.
miles.
In the
Yeah,
middle of the night
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Went and picked up the fucking kid who he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom before we go. And he's like, no,
He's like, no, you will
no.
not.
And he had him like chugging water and soda, and the whole time
Beer.
back the
No,
kid has to
he had him
Beer. It was
chugging
beer.
Was it
beer.
beer? It was
It
beer.
was
He was
beer.
8 years old chugging beer
Yeah.
in the car. So you have an open container in the car, and he's 8. Oh my God.
Whole time back the whole time back to the place, kid had to piss. And then like wasn't the kid's reaction whenever he was like 2 feet over him, he was like, "Pfft, okay,
This is yeah, it's
yeah,
just like
that
easy.
ain't, that ain't nothing."
Oh my god, dude.
Damn, dude. Imagine how high he could piss now. Now that he's like an
Oh,
adult,
skyscraper height.
Oh,
bro. He's definitely doing 12 feet at least. Maybe
gotta
taller.
be, dude, right? Oh man, dude.
Man,
Are there professional pissing competitions?
there could be. That would be interesting. The National Pissing League, the NPL.
MPL.
The NPL.
Or the
High key, that would be
PCA.
something that if ESPN
Pissing
8 the
competition.
Ocho existed, that would be on
Oh,
ESPN
man.
8 the Ocho.
100%. They'd have to blur out all the dicks though, or you'd have to
Oh,
just show it from the
yeah.
back.
Or wear a special
Yeah.
sock.
Something like, oh my god.
We're getting way too into this, guys. We need to
This is
stop
too.
while we're ahead.
I'm so sorry. This is a family podcast, sort of. Yeah. No. So back to green lights. So the green light is definitely the NPL, the National Pissing League, coming to a TV near you in 2022. But no. Like I think the best part of it is just the way he tells stories is just incredible. I mean, he just is so meticulous about the details, and he's just so good about painting the entire picture, beginning to end, and showing you the lesson that is meant to be learned and putting it into terms that's really subjective. And it like is almost objective, but subjective at the same time, to where, it's objectively there, the lesson that he learned. But I feel like a lot of it's interpretive. If you interpret it a different way, could be a slightly different lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah. I think that's what he was shooting for too. For like he does say it is his biography, but he's also talking about his experiences and how it helped shaped him as a person and what green light means to him,
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, wow, the way that this dude thinks, there's nobody else on the face of the earth that thinks like him. Just the way
No.
he comes up with poems and like there's little excerpts, if you notice in the book, like of like sticky notes. And there's just like little sayings on there and things he just comes up with. It's like, I would have never thought of that. Like, how does a
Just
guy
the
like that think like
language.
that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, just the language and the way he pieces together words. Like I've seen sentences that he's had words with one another that I never ever would have pictured together before in a sentence. And it's really, and he's really good about asking open-ended questions that are really just curiosities from him about the world. And I mean, like, I just think that's fascinating. He's just a fascinating guy. That's
I agree.
for sure. And I love reading stories from people like that. I love listening to podcasts about people like that. And that tends to be a lot of the stuff that I read and the stuff that I listen about, because I think you can learn a lot about people just with their everyday routine. I've learned a lot, and he talks about a lot of the same stories when he goes on podcasts. Like he went on Tim Ferriss's podcast, Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan's, And, he's telling a lot of the same stories, but he kind of elaborates on them. And it's just really interesting hearing about his entire thought process just surrounding the stories and what he learned from it. And it's just, I mean, bro, just talk about a humble upbringing, because
Yeah.
I mean, he comes from a small Texas town, but I know when he was living in Austin, like he was living in a trailer park in a trailer before he left for Hollywood. And I know exactly where that trailer park is. And every time I drive by there, I'm like, that is where Matthew McConaughey lived. And it just like shows you that, you shouldn't be afraid to dream big. Anything can happen. You just got to put forth the effort and really just be curious enough about the world and everybody around it.
Yeah.
I like the whole story about the trailer park and like the trailer and the RV, or what was it? It was a
Cosmo.
1996 GMC Savannah van.
The van and
Was that
the
what you said?
Airstream. And the
Yeah,
Airstream.
in the Airstream, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the thing that blew my mind, right? He was talking about how he kitted out the van and all that, and he hooked up like a microphone to it so he could record in it. He put like captain seats in there, took out the back seat,
Not to mention the very most important part, he did make a piss hole so he didn't have to stop when he was on the road.
So, like, I was telling me and Morgan and our roommate Caitlin and her boyfriend Hunter went out to dinner last night whenever I got back home from Christmas, right? And I was telling them about that, and I was like, you imagine you're on the highway and all of a sudden you just see water or liquid, just like a line of it coming down from the driver's side, and then like 20 yards further it stopped. Like at first you're like, oh shit, something's leaking. Oh, it must be fine now. The fine, like
It fixed itself.
I thought that was cool, but then he was talking about like that was how he would take meetings with directors.
Yeah, he would take him in the car.
Yeah, he'd be like, okay, I'm driving
from city to
through
city.
Yeah, he's like, I'm driving through Salt Lake. I'll pick you up at the Salt Lake airport, have a flight ready from Lincoln. We'll drive from Salt Lake to Lincoln. We'll shoot the shit, see if it'll be a good fit.
Yeah.
Pitch me the story, whatever it is. We'll talk about it, have a good time. Maybe get some, like, he was like, maybe grab some fast food on the way there, and then I drop him off at the airport and you can go home.
That whole
Like,
that whole sequence, the story what he told when he stopped in Montana too, and he found that little bar, and he talked about that, the people he made. Dude, I swear that's something out of a fairy tale. That bar and the people he was describing is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make it up. The stuff that happens to him, it literally will only happen to Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no denying that.
And in reading it, man, he did such a good job of like we already talked about how well he wrote it and all that. But man, you feel like you're there with him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I was just really impressed, man. I haven't read something that's like hooked me like that in a while.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't even remember the last time I willingly picked up a book.
Me like that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the last book that hooked me like that was. Did you freeze?
No, I
don't think so.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Technical difficulties on episode 10 of Not Roommates. Sorry for the audio.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. No, the last book that I think I've read that really kept me engaged to that sense, where I was just absolutely blown away by the storytelling element of it, was Logic's book.
Supermarket?
Dude, Supermarket was so good. It's a fiction story, and he's always been like that. And I think honestly, Logic's probably one of the first artists that really made me pay attention to storytelling and like what you can do and what you can accomplish with storytelling. I mean, one of the songs that comes to mind is Nicky, and how he like personifies nicotine and like his struggles and treats it like a relationship, that kind of thing. I just thought, like, I'm not into smoking. I've never smoked my entire life, never fucking will smoke cigarettes because I'm not trying to die, especially not in a pandemic. But like the way that he just personified that and brought it to life in a different way than anybody else has in history. I mean, I just thought that was incredible. And, he brought a lot of that to Supermarket, to where, it's just the whole story is just a mind fuck by the end. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's really, really crazy. And, being that he goes from being a rapper to now he's all of a sudden an author, like it's pretty incredible. It's like Matthew McConaughey going from, really what you see as a Hollywood actor to now somebody that
Yeah.
we're seeing as a great
A
author.
fucking
It's crazy.
philosopher.
Yeah, philosopher's
That's
a better
what he
title.
is,
Yeah.
dude.
I think that was one of the best things that I learned about him reading the book was like, because really I knew that he had like a production company and things like that, and like he
Yeah.
loved movies. I knew he was a law student before
Yeah.
he was a film student and all that, but just like the I think it's a quote on the back. It's that this is a love letter to life,
Let's see.
and it really was like not necessarily a template or a manuscript to living, but like appreciating how to live.
L-I-V-I-N.
Living, yeah, not living, living.
Live in. That's important.
A
OG.
love letter to life. It's on the inside cover, but on the back, this man's so dope. He got Shaka Smart from UT, the men's basketball coach, to give him a quote,
That's fucking cool.
and he got the CEO of Whole Foods to give him a quote. That's kind of cool.
Wasn't one of the guys on the back Mark Manson, the dude who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That was a good read too. That was
That-
probably the one that I liked just as much as this before.
Yeah, that one's a great book as well. I have not finished it. I kind of got through a decent amount of it, but that guy is another person that's really, really good at telling a story and kind of holding a narrative and just carrying it through the entire story.
Yeah.
How to not give a fuck. And somebody would look at that and be like, oh, that's vulgar, but he turns it into something that's not vulgar.
That's literally
It
why I
is.
bought the book though. Whenever I bought that
Yeah.
book, whenever I was in the airport and I had a layover and my phone was
Yeah.
about to die and I didn't have like a brick or anything and it was pre-COVID, so all the airports were just packed. And I was like, well,
Yep.
fuck, I got to do something. I'm not just going to sit here and
Yeah.
twiddle my thumbs. So I went and I went into the little like bookstore at, I think it was Houston Hobby. And I for some reason that one stuck out because it had the F word on the front. I was like, oh, that looks like my
Dude, the
kind of
cover's
book.
cool.
It really
Cover's
is.
cool.
It really, I probably have it
Yeah.
in my closet back there somewhere, but
And then he's got like a second one that's like everything you know is fucked or something like that, I think.
another thing
Or
with the
there's
fuck word.
yeah, it's something with the fuck word. And then there's another guy that his book is literally called You Are Fucked or something like that. I want to read that one day. Dude, it's so weird, but it works. I mean, it catches your attention. It's like those stupid billboards that you're just driving along the highway and it says, look, and then it just like says something about advertising actually works. We just proved it or something like that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Oh,
For no
man.
reason. They're not promoting anything.
They're not promoting anything. Well, they're promoting their services to allow you to promote.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Not roommates turned into book club there for a hot minute.
that's got to be the title, the Not Roommates Book Club episode.
Not roommates book club. And it's funny too because
Yes.
we're three dudes who don't willingly read. Like we spend our free time on COD. We don't read.
Facts.
But Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey got us to read. So shout out Matthew McConaughey. Appreciate
Dude, I
you.
want to read more. That's one of my goals for this upcoming year. I want to read one book a month. So we'll see how that goes.
That was one of the things that I would because I fucking hate New Year's resolutions. I think I just hate
Yeah.
calling them New Year's resolutions because so many people make vague ones. Like a lot of people, it's, oh, what's your New Year's resolution? I want to lose weight. I want to eat healthy. I want to,
yeah.
this, that, the other, whatever the case may be. I mean, there's a bunch of things,
Yeah.
but for the last 2 years, I haven't called it New Year's resolutions. I've just called it like year-end goals for myself. So
like that.
in
I like that.
2019, my year-end
Yeah.
goal was I was really like that was whenever I was really getting into like understanding screenplay to screen.
Okay.
Because the fall of 2018, I believe, was whenever I took my my final like screenwriting class or intro screenwriting class, right? And so I wanted to just understand it better and like understand how they correlated to films. And
Mhm.
so I made it a point, they're probably still on my iPad. I downloaded 12 screenplays and I was like, I'm going to read a screenplay a month and then watch the movie with it and get through it. I ended up getting through that by like March.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
because like screenplays don't really take any time to read. I mean, like a 120 page screenplay will maybe take you 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, I'm gonna read it once and then watch the movie with like it in front of me. And so
Yeah.
I got through them pretty quick, but I just picked out some of my favorite movies, things like that, like easy things that I had maybe already seen. Or
Yeah.
like some of them, I picked out a couple. Like at the time, I had only seen Citizen Kane one time,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, if I read
It's a
it
good film.
and then watch it with the script again, I'll appreciate it even more than I already do. So, but so in 2019, I like knocked it out real quick, and then from
Yeah.
April to December, it's like, well, I've already accomplished my year-end goal. That was fucking easy. I got to make something harder, right?
Yeah.
So
No, I feel
then
you.
this year, my goal was to watch 100 movies that I'd never seen before. In
Ooh.
2020, my goal was to watch 100 movies I had never seen before.
That's a good challenge right
And
there.
I started whenever I first got back from New Year's with my parents in Texas. And back whenever the movie theaters were open, Knives Out and
Nice.
Parasite and all those were still in theaters because they came out at the
Yes.
end of 2019. And so I didn't
Yes.
have time at the end of 2019 with like finishing my short and like finals and all that kind of shit to go and see a lot of the like great films that came out at the end of the year. So the first new movie that I had never seen before in 2020 was Knives Out.
Good movie.
Yeah, so that
I
was the
enjoyed
first
that.
one, and then as of yesterday, I watched my 111th new movie that I'd never seen before this year.
Nice, Dalton.
Yep,
Nice.
111. I kept track of it. I had so it helps having the IMDb app for goals like that, because anytime someone will suggest a movie to me, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you should watch, and I just instantly I'm in my phone, and I probably come across
Yep.
as a dick, so I've made like a point that every time I do that, I'm like, I gotta add it to my watch list right now, because if you just tell it to me, it's so easy to, especially going through fucking film school, man, and telling people that you're majoring in film.
Oh yeah.
Once you say that to somebody, they're like, have you seen insert like the two indie
Yeah.
movies they may have ever seen, right?
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh. Yeah.
and so like for the first couple like years of that, I'd be like, no, I haven't seen it, I'll have to check it out, and then it's just basically in one ear and out the other, unless
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
heard that it was on TV or like be clicking through channels and see it there and just sit down and decide to watch it by just dumb chance, right? But so the IMDb watch list thing, let me see how many movies are currently in my watch list right now.
God.
After I watched
right.
111 movies I had never seen before this year, I'm still getting recommended movies. I currently have, for my ratings, movies that I've seen that I've rated on the app, I have 534 ratings.
Wow.
On my
Dang.
watch
I don't even think I've
list,
seen 534 movies.
I definitely haven't.
I don't even, dude.
which
I
like
don't
a
even
handful
know
of those
what
on
would be
there.
a ballpark. I don't even know how many movies I've seen.
Dude, if you want to find out, download the app and make an account and start rating stuff. Rate stuff
You know
that
what?
you've seen. I fucking love it.
I'm
Yeah.
doing that right
True.
now.
I fucking love it. My watch list currently is 413 movies long. 413.
wow.
But what's really fucking cool, I didn't know this until Christmas break, like whenever I went up to Missouri to go be with my grandparents and stuff, right? I knew that Amazon
Yeah.
bought IMDb. I didn't know the power
Really?
that gave Amazon Prime. So are you ever fucking watching? This is an ad for Amazon Prime. I swear to God, but I don't mean
No
for
free
it to
ads.
Be. I don't mean for it to be.
No
But,
free
dude,
ads.
listen to this shit though. It's cool as fuck. Have you ever been watching a movie and you're like, who is that person that's on the screen right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't know the character's name. You don't like whatever it is. It's early in the movie, whatever the fuck, right? Who is that person? On Amazon now, on Amazon Prime, because they bought IMDb and synced up their servers, right? If you just click the up button, it'll pop up with every character that's in the scene and their actor name and all that. If there's a song playing in the background, from the second before the song starts to the second after the song ends, the song name will pop up. All you got to do is like, how you press up and the little like timeline menu will pop up and all that. It just pops up right above the timeline. It'll show you exactly who's on screen, exactly what
And it
song's
updates
playing.
throughout the movie?
Updates throughout the movie per scene. So like not shot for shot, right? But per scene kind of thing.
That's
and
cool.
so they're taking all that data from IMDb. Whenever you're scrolling through Amazon Prime, it'll show you the IMDb like rating, right?
Dang.
And whenever you're on IMDb, if you go to like my watch list here, right, I can tap. Nobody can really see this that well, even on video probably. But on the top
Yeah.
bar, they have like type. So if you want to search TV shows that are in your watch list, tab TV shows, and like Gamora is on here for me, and The Flight Attendant, The Making of the Mob, The Wire. Like, not very many TV. I think I only have 11 TV shows of the 413 things.
Yeah.
But so then, okay, I'm gonna clear it off a TV show, and then it'll go to like watch options. So is it in theaters, on TV, on disc, streaming, or streaming subscriptions? And then if it's on streaming, it goes down one, and it gives you the list of every streaming service except for Netflix.
That's pretty cool.
That is so cool.
So like, since I have
Dang.
Amazon Prime, my big one is it's like, okay, is it included with Amazon Prime? And then I'll just fucking scroll down and tap Prime Video, and then it'll pop up everything that's available on Prime Video right now.
Dang.
That's on my watch list.
Technology, man.
I did notice that actually too, because I went through and watched all the Marvel movies finally in order, and I finally finished the other day, but they don't have Spider-Man Homecoming on Disney Plus. I had to rent it through Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying that, and I accidentally clicked up on my remote, and it was like the person who plays Vulture in that movie. They showed like his act, and I was like, huh, that's kind of weird, but that's a really cool feature that they added.
It's so awesome. And that dude, like that IMDb app is probably a really big reason why I was able to watch as many movies as I did this year.
Yeah,
COVID definitely helped. No doubt. Like there were days, I mean, there was probably weeks at a time that I wouldn't watch a movie, like 2-3 weeks at a time, right? But then there were days that it's like, I don't have work.
Yeah.
Everyone that I live with has work, and I'm just home and I don't have anything else to do. And there were days I watched 4 or 5 movies I'd never seen before.
Dang.
Wow.
Those were good days. What's it called? But so another thing that helped with that is there's a big place in Knoxville called McKay's. I think there's one in Chattanooga and Nashville too. I'm not totally sure. But it's essentially this big fucking warehouse that's just filled with used media. So like the ground floor is video games, movies, and books.
Oh,
and then whenever you go upstairs, it's cassettes, records, CDs, vinyls. They got video games, they got electronic, everything. Dude, McKay's has been my spot. Like during the first like half of the summer and COVID and all that, they were totally shut down. Oh, dude, totally
that's
shut
so
down.
Cool, dude.
But I'll go in there now, and I could stay all day in there. And the movies are like 99 cents.
Dang.
Yeah, like you can get, dude, you can get Blu-ray movies for. I would go in there and buy just a stack of movies this fucking high and spend $20.
That's cool. And you're gonna have that forever. You got your collection going.
Oh yeah, no, my film library has grown by probably twice the size since this year started.
Dang.
Yeah, I've been trying to collect all the Tarantino movies on DVD without ordering them online, like just finding them organically in the world.
Oh, that's okay.
I had a little bit of a head start from my dad because my dad was a huge Tarantino fan whenever he was first like coming out in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So my dad had the collector's edition Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
And he gave those to me about 2 years ago. So like that was what started my collection, right?
Yeah.
And then I got the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Good movie.
I bought the like super collector's edition one of that. That thing is fucking cool.
That's dope. That's like a low key good movie.
Oh, dude,
I feel like you've got to have a lot of patience to watch that one, and you've just got to really just sit back and just like enjoy the ride.
Yep.
It's definitely not one that like if you're looking for action and you're looking for this and that like makes up most popular movies.
Yeah.
Like you won't like it. Like you definitely won't like it. I mean, it's just.
I want to go back and rewatch that one. It was interesting. I didn't really follow along with it all that well, but I think if I go back and actually pay more attention, I think I'll understand.
Yeah, you'll figure out that it's like multiple stories all within one movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I could tell at first, but
yeah.
I was a little lost.
At first, like when I first watched it, it was confusing as hell because I didn't know that. I was like, wait, what the? I'm like, Huh?
Who is this random chick?
Yeah, why does she have her nasty ass feet out in the theater? My God.
Jeez.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we
no,
all know it's Margot Robbie, and that's
Well, in
that's
the
a good
Tarantino,
Yeah.
and the man,
nice, Matt.
the Tarantino foot fetish came out in full force in that movie.
Oh,
But,
Oh,
oh my
dude.
God.
Oh, the hippie girl.
Yeah.
That was
Up
nasty.
on the windshield. Yeah, no,
Oh,
he's a
dude.
freak. Oh, he's a full
Uh,
freak.
I mean, he definitely a freak for blood too.
Yeah.
That we've been knowing that.
Yeah, ever since Kill Bill, really ever
Yeah.
since Reservoir Dogs, which, yeah. But
I like the last scene in Django. That is fucking bloody.
yeah,
It's awesome.
when he's going through the house and Tupac is playing, yeah.
The whole mansion after he's done is just covered in blood, and then he burns the whole thing down. Spoiler alert.
thanks. I haven't seen it yet. No,
Bro, come on.
You've never seen that?
Django is
Zach,
awesome.
I was over at your house last night, and you
Oh,
asked
that's
me, and I
right.
said no.
That's Well,
No,
I
Django
bet
is
you won't remember
fantastic.
what I just said.
Probably not.
It's-
I usually tend to forget things pretty quickly.
You've
when it comes
probably
to
seen
movies.
like a meme clip of it for like 5
Yeah.
seconds. Like there was one that came out whenever Warzone was getting big. And it was like whenever he first kicks in a door, he kind of baits somebody, like one of the other guys running by, and that dude gets shot in the back. And the like text on that guy was like me peeking the sniper. And then
Oh,
my friend like seeing where his glare was
Oh, dude,
and
yeah.
killing him, and then like he goes
Okay.
and kills like 5 more people kind of thing. And so there's been a bunch of memes that have come out of that one. But
Okay.
no, man, highly recommend Django. It's one of the 2 Tarantino movies I have not been able to find on Blu-ray or DVD. Because at some point I was like,
Good.
man, there ain't no way I'm finding these collector's editions at McKay's in fucking Knoxville. It's not gonna happen.
They're gonna pay a
Yeah.
pretty penny for those too. I guaranteed.
Oh yeah. So those might be like a one day at like someday kind of thing. I'll have all 10 in their collector's edition, but like I'm not really worried about that. But so I've yet to find Django, and I don't know why, but I've also yet to find Jackie Brown, and that one was probably like one of his lowest received movies.
Mhm.
Like Death Proof and Jackie Brown were probably his 2 lowest received ones. But I found Death Proof. I've yet to find another one, but I found Death
Yeah.
Proof at one point.
Dude, one of my favorites is Inglorious Bastards. I love that one.
I just found that one like a month ago.
Dude, that is just a good movie. Matt, have you seen that one?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I'm horrible. No, I have not.
Oh,
I need to, bro. I never
never
haven't
trust
gotten
the
into the
Steelers fan.
hey. I haven't gotten into the movie scene until recently, bro. Like growing up, I didn't watch a whole lot of movies unless it was superhero related or anything like that. But now that I appreciate cinema a lot more now. Yeah, that too. But I appreciate cinema a lot more now, so I definitely need to go back and rewatch all the Tarantino movies for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of them are on streaming services. Like
Okay.
I forget which one's on Netflix right now. I think Hateful Eight is like always on Netflix because I think he made a deal with them.
Mhm.
That like they
That
had
one's
it
weird.
for a long time. So Hateful Eight's kind of interesting to me. It was originally a play, and that's
Okay.
why it takes place in like one
One
room,
scene.
basically.
Yeah.
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 Other than
Well,
like the intro
sort
where
of.
they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then at the beginning, you know, they're out in the snow and all that shit. But like in a play, you just have a scene change.
Yeah.
So, but it was originally a play, and then they filmed it as a movie.
Bro, all I gotta say is I'm tired of seeing Samuel L. Jackson in Capital One commercials.
What? Hold up.
Nah, they're bitchifying him.
Did you know he's 72 years old?
What?
Yeah, he just had a birthday
Whoa, whoa,
the other
whoa.
day.
Bro, now
Look
the
it up,
Samuel
Phil.
L.
He's
Jackson,
72.
dude, the Samuel L. Jackson we like is English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Speak. Happy holidays with cheese.
I
don't get it.
Oh my God. Dalton's
Happy
whole shirt that
holidays
says
with
happy
cheese.
Is this some sort of Tarantino reference? Because I don't get it.
So in Pulp Fiction, in one of the first scenes, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson are driving to go and run a hit on this guy, right? And so John Travolta's character has just recently come back from a trip to Amsterdam. And he's telling him about, like, at the beginning, he's like, yeah, you know what they dip their fucking French fries in Amsterdam? Samuel L. Jackson's like, they don't use ketchup? He says, nah, they use fucking mayonnaise. They just douse it in it. He's like, I seen them do it. It's gross. And so while they're talking, he's like, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Holland? He's like, they don't call it a quarter pounder? He's like, nah, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder was. He's like, so what do they call it? A Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese. And
Oh
so
my
that's
God.
like, that's a it comes back up just a little while later on whenever they run the hit. You know,
Yeah.
he's like eating the burger for the guy that they're about to shoot. And he asks him, like, what do they call a quarter pounder in Amsterdam? Or he asks him, like, oh fuck, I forget how that exact thing goes out. But like he has something about like the quarter pounder not being called a quarter pounder, and Brad, the guy that they're about to light up,
Yep.
he's like, it's because they have the metric system. And Samuel L. Jackson with the fucking hamburger in his hand goes, look at the big brain on Brad. Like,
No, when you walked away, that was the thing that I was saying. The reason I don't like Samuel L. Jackson in the damn Capital One commercials is because they're making him like a little bitch. I said we like the Samuel L. Jackson that says, English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I get
Oh
that.
my God.
I mean, I get that. I think they're funny though. Like the one with Santa where he's wearing that shirt. You realize John Travolta's playing Santa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I
it's
watched this other one today though, and it was dumb. I was like, bro.
Is it the one where he's trying to cook something like over FaceTime?
I can't. That one's dumb too. This is a different one. He was kind of just like sitting down, was like, Capital One. Oh, I'm like, shut up.
The Capital One commercials and Progressive commercials are the worst.
I don't mind the
Wait.
progressive commercials.
Wait,
I hate the Progressive commercials.
are the ones? What is the company that's currently doing the ones where it's like the old guy that's like the intervention guy, and he's like, like
It's progressive.
It
I
is
think
progressive. Dude, I love those commercials. Like the one where the blue-haired dude walks by and they're all
We
just
all
like,
see
he's like,
it.
we all see it.
We all see it.
We all see Dude, he has blue hair. Blue. And then the one where like the chick has the Asian lady has like all the pillows that are just like all over the couch. And he's like, if you can't sit anywhere, you have too many.
Then he goes through and knocks them all
Dude.
down. He's like, look, all better. The fuck?
It's like
The Progressive
see?
commercials suck because they haven't changed their advertising and the actors in years, and they still use Flow, and it's so cringy.
Oh, Flow
It's
is annoying.
so
I like this
cringe.
new progressive commercials though. I don't like Flow. Flow's annoying.
Yeah, whenever I think Progressive, I think Flow, and I'm just like, bruh, I ain't gonna go buy car insurance from somebody who's annoying and a fake. Like, it's so bad.
I don't think she can get another role.
Probably not.
No.
Dude.
I think that's the thing that happens with a lot of these like actors that get like a big break from commercials like that. Like a lot of times actors, whenever they go into it, will start off doing like small commercials and minor roles.
Yeah.
Like even in McConaughey's book, he was talking about, well, I was in a Miller Lite commercial for 2
Yep.
seconds. Like and so a lot of these actors that get this big time role in a 20-second commercial for a major company, no one's ever heard of them before. If they do a good enough job at it, or the commercials are written well enough, you end up with characters like Flo, or the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world, or the fucking
True.
the AT&T girl and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
but
it's like
then they'll
even-
get stuck and they won't get hired
Yeah.
because people are like, well, why the fuck would we put Flo in this action movie? Because then
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
one's gonna go and see that movie and be like, oh, hey, that's the girl from this, that, the other. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is Flo doing in this movie?
Dude,
I
that's
would
true.
never see a movie
mean,
with her in it.
You could even say the same thing for like other actors too. I mean, for instance, like I think it's kind of the reason why like Robert Downey Jr. is kind of forcing his way out of the Iron Man role, because you just get trapped in that lane of everybody sees you as Iron Man. They don't see you for anything else but that. And you kind of want to be known for more than just one thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you'll eventually see it with Flo. You're going to see Flo in a live action movie one day. It's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure she's been in stuff. I don't know, but I'm sure she's been in stuff.
Let's
But it's
you know,
nothing that's gonna be
continue the
big.
conversation. I am going to Google this and I will report back.
So now with Tony Stark though, Chris Evans has stepped out and done
So
some shit.
that was my next point, Dalton, is because he was in Knives Out, and then he's also going to be doing the voiceover for Buzz Lightyear in the new Lightyear show that's going on Disney Plus.
Wait, for real? They're not letting Tim Allen do it?
Nope, it's going to be Chris Evans.
Is it because Tim Allen got caught selling cocaine?
I don't know, but I just know Chris Evans is doing it. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
All I think about
God, dude, she's been in a lot, and she's been in oh my God.
No fucking way.
Dude, she's been in a ton of TV stuff.
What's her name? What's her actual name?
Her actual name is Stephanie Courtney. But she's
two
been
first names.
I was about to say the same shit.
Bro, you remember that stupid YouTuber that was like the guy named Fred that had the squeaky voice? He was like,
oh my God, dude.
Yeah, she was in Fred, the movie, and Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred. That made me cringe seeing that. But she was in Blades of Glory.
No shit.
Yeah, she was a reporter at Signups. But like
minor role.
Television, bro, she's been, you know, she was a woman in an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond.
The Goldbergs.
She was in an episode of ER. Phineas and Ferb, Mad Men.
Mike Tyson. Oh my God.
The Jay Leno show.
She was in Two Broke Girls. What the heck?
Damn.
Wow.
She was even in the Looney Tunes show. The Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Well, she's definitely done well for herself then, I guess. That's weird.
Dude, I never would have imagined she started in 1998 doing acting. Damn. That's kind of crazy. But she's 50. What? She's 50? Damn. She's old.
That's the beauty of makeup, Zach.
Bro. Progressive taking care of her.
I guess so.
Damn.
Well, hey, she probably got paid like millions for doing Progressive, so she probably could afford that plastic surgery, you know?
Something like
make
that.
Her face, make her look like 20 years older.
I would have thought
20 years younger. God.
I would have thought she was 15 years younger. I would have said 35. I would have said 40.
I would have guessed 40. Yeah.
Okay. I could see anywhere from 35 to 40. Yeah. But
that's whack, dude.
Is that whack with an H or just an A?
Just
whack. WACK. We've already discussed this.
Yeah. Oh man. No, that's fucking wild though. I would have never
guessed. This is a homage to our early episodes.
I would have never fucking guessed that she was in a movie as big as Blades of Glory. Granted, it was minor role.
Right.
But she was still in it.
Yeah.
Basically a talking extra.
Still cool.
But that's still, what the fuck?
Still cool. That was a good movie.
Man.
That was funny.
Blades of Glory.
Dude.
Well, boys.
Man.
It's late in Knoxville for Dalton. It's literally almost
it's past midnight.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning in Knoxville. So let's wrap this up for Dalton's sake. I had a shower thought, but it's
let's hear it. No, let's fucking hear it.
All right. Well, so shower thoughts with Matt.
Shower thoughts with Matt.
How come, like, when you go to Disney World, Six Flags, or like an amusement park, you can get a still image photo of you going 50 miles an hour down a roller coaster in crystal clear quality, right? But when somebody goes up and robs a bank or like robs a house or vandalizes something else, and they catch you on security camera and the camera is why is the camera blurry? How come like you can have that technology in an amusement park, but you can't have it to protect your own personal safety? I don't get that. Like, the technology exists.
Disney's got more money than people who want to put cameras in the corners of their homes. And I don't know what the fucking
or a bank
is. That's literally
or
where the
a
money
But a
gas
is.
bank-
station.
But banks don't have crystal clear cameras like the shit that you see at Disney,
Yeah, no, the banks, I
I
don't know what the fuck
mean,
their excuse is. They're lacking.
yeah,
right? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Something's
I
fishy
mean,
about
you also
that.
have to think. You also have to think the Disney camera is strategically placed at a location where they're trying to mooch money off these people. So they like invest a lot of money in these cameras to get good imagery so that people will want to buy them. Whereas the other one, it's just to catch people doing shady stuff, which doesn't happen all the time, you know?
I mean, yeah, but thief happens every day, dude. So like
Thief happens every day.
I don't know.
thievery, whatever you want to call it.
Thievery.
But
My guess is
I
Disney
just
invested a little bit better money into them cameras than the
But it's-
fucking banks did, and then people do in the
Bro,
corner of their home.
but it's
When I-
not just Disney though, bro. Like it's Six Flags has it, Universal Studios has it. You know, like
I-
it's not just
Yeah,
Disney.
dude.
It's-
When I was at
it's the
Six
same
Flags
thing.
the last time I was at Six Flags, I fucking hate roller coasters, bro.
What?
No, you put me on a tall mountain on the edge of the cliff, I'm good, right? You put me at a height, like a high height, going fast, I can't do it. I hate it. I hate
Interesting.
every fucking second of it. And I got forced to go on some really, really sketchy rides, one of which I almost passed out beforehand, but that's a different story. Anyways, we went on this one and they had the camera thing, right? And then we just happened to, go in the gift shop next to it. And we're at the Six Flags up in Dallas. So Six Flags over Texas. And I see the picture of me up on the screen. It was just like a funny face. And I like low key tried to finesse a picture with my phone. And the bitch behind the counter clicked off it and was like, nope. I'm like,
Yeah. No, they want you to
Bitch.
pay for that shit.
yeah.
Nah, they
I'm
want
like,
you to pay
I
for
just want a picture from my Snapchat. I don't want to buy your crappy pictures because I don't want to relive that memory. I just wanted to send it to my homies. He was being a jerk.
That's what you got. What you got to do is you
Swag.
got to take a picture of somebody else at first,
And then they click to yours.
and then they click on and then they click off of theirs, and then you're like, fine, I'll take a picture of some other mother.
Or
then you take
or
a
just
picture of you.
take a whole video of the just walking
Yeah.
up to it. I'll rip a screenshot out this. Be like, I'm gonna get that picture. If it kills me trying, or what are you gonna do? Shoot me?
Yes.
Six Flags in the gift shop.
In Texas, yes, we
We got them
From-
guns in Texas, bro.
Yeah, but at Six Flags from like a small lady worker that just is on a
Hey,
power trip trying to. make
she
you
could
feel
be
bad.
packing.
I mean, she could. I don't know if her job's gonna be letting her, but
You
What
just
the
never
job
know,
don't
baby.
know, the job don't need to know. Yeah, I committed tax fraud today.
Don, you probably shouldn't admit that.
That's fucked.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
I don't even want to ask you any more questions about this because I'm not
Yeah.
trying to have the government freaking come and listen to our podcast. And
If
it's
they
like,
want the
"Dalton did
$6 I
that."
didn't claim,
Fraud.
I'll give them the $6 back.
Yeah, but
Oh,
then interest is
God.
gonna, rack up.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna have to find yourself. Gonna have to reach back out to the sugar mama so you can get that $500 a week.
Oh, she ghosted me.
allowance.
Straight up ghosted me.
Oh my
Yeah. At some point,
Ghosted?
yeah.
man, I thought we were gonna have an elaborate story for an update.
Oh man, no, I
Dang.
really tried. It basically ended with the end of the last podcast. Whenever she said, like, I think you're only interested in the money, she never got back with me.
You're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I
You're
was like,
hell yeah.
I
That's
was like,
all
yeah,
I-
I'll take that money and be here. You can
Gladly
always DM
take
me,
the money.
but this is my cash
always
app
DM
name.
me.
Oh, that's
Cash at me
funny.
that cash, yo.
Got a cash
All
app.
right.
All right, Buckos.
Well, I think we're coming to an end for this episode, but thank you from me and from the boys on supporting the podcast since we started it back in August. Like, it's kind of crazy. I know we talked about this at the beginning. Kind of crazy, and we're really excited to continue keep on doing it. and produce more content, produce more episodes. It's all coming. Ideally every Friday. So we're hyped. Any final thoughts, boys?
I don't got any tonight.
Matthew, I will have a joint final thoughts.
Okay, hold on. I got a final thought.
Okay.
I tried a new whiskey on Christmas Eve.
That was going to be my final thought. There was a joint one.
Well,
So perfect.
It's a joint one.
Still a
Perfect.
joint one.
Zach actually recommended it to me. It's called Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Dude, it's the best thing ever. I got pretty wasted with it on Christmas Eve, but it was worth it. I wasn't going anywhere. I was staying home. I was being responsible. And actually, funny story. So I went to the store for my mom to get some other stuff. And I walked to the whiskey section. She wanted a bottle of Fireball. And I was looking and I saw the bottle of Screwball. And I was like, I'm not going to get it because we already had some Proper 12 still and some Fireball. And my mom wanted the Fireball. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to buy 2 things of whiskey. But then I went back home and I was talking to my mom. She's like, you should have just got it. And I was like, all right. So I went back to the same store and I got the last bottle of it. And I obviously went to a different cashier and got it, but it was good. And it's really good when you get it, recommend putting it in the freezer right away and then just pouring it over a couple cubes and you can sip it straight. It's so good. Delicious.
We don't breed bitches here. All right. You're going to go to the store. You're going to get a bottle. You're going to go home. You're going to put some ice cubes in a low glass and you're just going to open it. We don't put that in the freezer. We don't do none of that. We drink it straight like men.
My final thought will also go with the Screwball stuff, but it's the exact opposite of drinking it straight. As the craft bartender that I am, I have a drink that I made called the Drunken Nutter Butter. It is a milkshake.
Yes.
Depending on where you're at in the night, 2 to 4 ounces of Screwball peanut butter whiskey, 4 or 5 Nutter Butter minis, or 2 full-size Nutter Butters. You're throwing this all in a blender, right? 2 big scoops of crunchy peanut butter, just the peanut butter, like, the ones with the fucking peanuts in it, right? Big scoops of that shit. And then 3 big scoops of either vanilla or peanut butter ice cream. Personally, I've found it to be better with vanilla because with peanut butter ice cream, it's just way too peanut buttery.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2 ounces of milk. Blend it up and put it in a cup.
Booyah. Sounds delicious.
And a lot of
That
times
sounds
I
good.
garnish it with a Nutter Butter on top.
Dude, yeah. When I
Very
picked it up
sweet.
at Target, they had like this little advertisement thing next to it that had like 2 Christmassy recipes that sounded super good. So I'm gonna definitely have to try something.
Absolutely. But yes, the boys love whiskey.
Dessert.
Yes.
Boys
do.
love whiskey.
Thank you for listening. Happy New Year. And thank you for listening. We're hyped. We're hyped. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Promise we gon' go beyond this, but girl, you gon' get it regardless. You're flawless. She say she can take all this.